these very same people that you're talking about, they come from your own neighborhoods, they come from your own houses. So si toutes ces police sont corrupt, zo tout corrupt, nous tout corrupt. Si toutes ces politicians sont pas bon, nous pièces pas bon, nous tout en même boat là. Nous ne pouvons réaliser ça nous ka dire bouche non. Moun pa ka just waste like the n'importe bagay. Excellent bagay en culture c'est moun nan ni ici ya. People just want to say whatever they want. The words that come from your mouth, you have to be careful of the things that you say. Where certain people will just say what they never see, say what they never hear. And the way they say it, you will be convinced that these people know what they're saying for true. And this thing, it is something that really has to be dealt with. Because what happened is, when you spread these lies, these rumors of things that you do not know, there are people, younger people who hear those things, and by virtue of the fact that they're hearing it from an older person that they respect, they tend to believe that these things are true. And they tend to probably go and propagate those things, because if your grandmother and your grandfather is saying those things, it is easy to believe that it is true. Yes, people, welcome again. And today I want to deal with a topic, a serious problem that is causing untold troubles in the country. And that is the situation where people bear false witness against other people. And this thing is causing a lot of emotional problems. It is causing a lot of some of the violence that we're seeing in the place. You see, what we have is a situation where people, and it is more endemic in certain locations than others, where certain people will just say what they never see, say what they never hear. And the way they say it, you will be convinced that these people know what they're saying for true. And this thing, it is something that really has to be dealt with. Let me give you an example, a situation that really I know about firsthand that really caused a lot of problems. Now, if you're from the valley, especially if you're from Denny Riviere or Grand Ravine, there's a place called Bawe that is close to Deville. Like, in fact, Deville and Bawe is basically the same thing. But it is an area, a farming area between, let us say, between Montparnasse, Denny Riviere, and Grand Ravine. They call that Deville. Now, there's a man, he died already, but his name is associated with these lands with some lands in that area of Deville and Bawe. Now, people from the time I was a little boy growing up, I used to hear people saying that c'était ça pas avant, c'était, and they used to mention the man name, Mr. X or whatever, c'était ça pas avant. But apparently, that was not so. Because what happened is, in some of these places, people just repeat what they hear. They never really find out the truth about anything, and they just believe. Now, the worst thing is, when these people relate these things, these people say these things as if it is something that they know about for a fact. And one of the worst things is big grown people, old people, 60s, 70s, 80s, who's supposed to know better, and they are the ones that are involved in some of these bearing of false witness and some of these things that you see that is going on. You understand? So the thing is, they believe that these lands cannot be sold. But there is a man who actually purchased a piece of that land. It was something around 5 acres of land from that area there. Now, the thing is, I know of that situation firsthand because in my role and function, I actually had to sign on that on these documents in my role and function, which I will not disclose because it is not important. Now, the man bought the land. The thing went for the owners of the land. One of them was living overseas or whatever. He was here. He signed the documents. The lawyers signed. Everybody signed. And the man got his land. When the people found out that the land that they believed that could not be sold was actually sold to the man, they started tarnishing the man's reputation. started saying that the man did complot with lawyers and other people to steal the land and all kind of stupidness like that. Now the worst thing is these things were being spoken of, these lies and fabrications, even when you go to the bus stop, like on the Denny Rivier bus stop and those places. Older people that should know better are the ones that are spreading them kind of propaganda, them kind of rumors, them kind of lies, bearing false witness. You understand? And they were spreading that in the community. And there was one time I heard it and I actually had to correct somebody and told them that is the people land. The people they went through the legal process of buying that land. And so I just want to show you the mindset of some of the people. And they go about saying that the guy did bubble or whatever to get this land. And they do it so convincingly that women look at they go and bus stop, they go in everywhere and say those things. You understand? And so it is very important that people stop doing those things. And you see, it reached a point now where when I hear certain things, especially in the valley, when I hear certain things, I don't believe. 90% of the things that I hear, I do not believe. Because I know that there are people, that's all they do, just manufacturing false information to spread. These things can have a bad effect on the society. Because what happened is, when you spread these lies, these rumors of things that you do not know, there are people, younger people who hear those things, and by virtue of the fact that they're hearing it from an older person that they respect, they tend to believe that these things are true. And they tend to probably go and propagate those things, because if your grandmother and your grandfather is saying those things, it is easy to believe that it is true. And a lot of times, it is not young people who are spreading this kind of propaganda and bearing them kind of false witness. These are mature, old, seasoned people. These are people that are over 60 years that are spreading them kind of propaganda thing. And some of them know what they're saying is not true, and they still continue to do that. Now look at the impact that is having on your children, because you have your children spreading these rumors because they hate from you and they believe in those things. The thing is, if that was something that was just being said in a few places, it would probably not be that harmful. But these things go far, and they are far-reaching. And you destroy people's reputation. And for years, sometimes for a whole lifetime, you have people believing in propaganda, lies, and false witness vibes that is not true. And for years, you have people believing in that. And that's one of the things that I see. It is very prominent in some of the areas. That thing is very prominent and common in the valley. People say things about people. They just manufacture stories and say it about people with no regard to how it may affect the person's reputation, the person's livelihood, and all kind of things like that. These things, people do those things. And these are things that destroy progress. It affects people livelihood. It affects people peace, people joy, people psyche, and people need to stop that foolishness that they're doing. You need to stop bearing false witness. The other thing that is going on in terms of that same false witness vibe and this talking that destroy people is with regard to the police and politicians. People, you need to understand, we all need to understand that the police and the politicians, they came from between a woman's leg, and they came from somebody's house, and they came from our communities and our houses. The police and the politicians, they did not come from the forest, or they did not come from under the sea. And so we can say surely that if all them police are corrupt, that means all of us are corrupt. If all of them politicians are corrupt, that means we all are corrupt. We all. People want like to do things in isolation. And the kind of statements that people make sometimes, they say things about about police that they have no information about, some of them. They say things about politicians that they have no information about, and not realizing that these very same people that you're talking about, they come from your own neighborhoods, they come from your own houses. So si tout se police are corrupt, zo tout corrupt, nous tout corrupt. Si tout se politicians are pas bon, nous pièces pas bon, nous tout en même boat là. Nous n'y pour realize ça nous ka di ek bouche non. Moun pa ka just waste like the n'importe bagay, excellent bagay en culture se moun nan ni ici ya. People just want to say whatever they want. The words that come from your mouth, you have to be careful of the things that you say. That's why this guy has it in one of the songs. Be careful of the things you do, the everyday words you speak. You run on the streets, you run on your mouth, you want to see your brother be a prisoner. The countenance of one man brighteneth another, iron sharpen iron. Iron don't want to sharpen iron. People just want in this culture to just destroy the reputation of other people. Sometimes when they see other people doing well, there's a jealousy that comes about as a result of that, and they want to see how they can use their tongue to make you get lower than them or to make you be more miserable than them. And that's what that whole thing is about. So you should want to see that the police force get better. That's what all of us should want to see, because the police force, the police people are from among us. They're from our communities, from our houses. We should want to see that whatever problems that they have there, they fix it up. We need to want to see that they get better. And we're not just supposed to stay there and just be insulting police, cussing police, having only bad expectations of police, the very police that come from our houses. And we're not saying that, I'm not saying that to play like all of them are good. That's not what I'm saying. Because there are some of them that I have issues with. But you cannot be blaming and criticizing all policemen, cursing all police, insulting all police. You have no good expectations of the police. No, and whereas these people came from our communities, our homes. So we have to be very careful what we say with our mouths. We have to be careful. Because sometimes these insults that we spew out there, the cursings that we spew out there, and the bad expectations that we spew out there, we are actually directing these things at our own children and our own grandchildren, at our own great-grandchildren. So all these bad things that you're saying and wishing and hoping for the police, and police this and police that, pour God c'est pas même issue, hizotek ti hizot zoka wish se ba isan le yo. Now, the other area of talking stupidity and bearing false witness that I see happening in the country, that has to stop. Now, the thing is, I'm mentioning those things with the hope that these things are going to stop, because once these things stop, there's going to be tremendous progress in the country. Now, what we have now is you have some people, some St. Lucians, that are coming on show. They have shows. And all they do on these shows is that every week they just incite people against the government, regardless of which party is in the government. But there are some people, all they do is just come on media, they have their shows, whatever, and they just incite people against the government. Now, some of these people who are doing that, it would behoove you, it would be good for you not to listen and follow them people, because some of them people are rich people, some of them people have their money already, but they're not satisfied. You know, with the money they have, instead of criticizing everything the government doing and not doing, why not start a factory and create jobs for people? Because some people have the money to do that. Why not encourage the young people and other people in the country to start businesses? Why are they not encouraging people to buy land? Why are they not encouraging people to learn a trade or take a course of study? Why are they not doing that? Why are they not encouraging the people to farm? Because we have a lot of lands there that are available for farm, but yet people abandon the land and they're farming. Why are these people who come on the radio and talk these things on the media, to try to get people against governments, why don't they ask the young people and others to get into farming? Or why don't they use their money and their influence to get markets for farmers to sell their produce? All year round, what these people will do is they go on programs and to just attack the government every day, every day, every day. Regardless of which government, which party is in power, every day they just attack the government. SLP in power, they attack. UWP in power, they attack. No matter who in power, they just attack every day. As if their whole mindset is to discourage people, frustrate people, destabilize the country, destabilize the government, whatever. So what will happen if you continue to listen to them people is the people are you're just going to have a rage and an anger for no reason. And you end up just crying and making excuses all your life, making no progress. While these people who talk them kind of foolishness and discourage people in the country, they're just going to get more famous. They'll get more fame. They have their money intact. They're going to even get more money. And because you just there listening to all them useless talk and hear them guys bear false witness, you are just going to be trapping yourself in a zone of no progress. No progress. Whereas them people have their agenda. Some of them people, it's not like they love their country, you know. Some of them people that come on them shows and poison in the country. They just have personal acts to grind against certain political parties. They don't really give a thing about you. They don't really care about you. It's the whole thing is about row and mepui and making noise. Now you cannot be listening and programming yourself based on the words of them people, because you can never make progress in life listening to them kind of rubbish them people talk. People, let me tell you, we in this country have to think of things that will make us make progress in life. You understand? The deal and the desire for each and every one of us is for us to grow, for the country economy to grow, for there to be less crime in the country, for the country to be getting getting more progress, more employment, people doing better, and for there to be better healthcare in the country and all of that. That is why you have to be careful what you listen to, who you listen to. You understand? And even when you listen, you read in the Bible, it talks about those things, the things that you have to listen to. In Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, it says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things." What this thing is saying is just think of things that are positive, things that have good report, things that are lovely, things that will make you make progress in life, things that are truthful, things that will motivate you, things that will encourage you. These are the things that you're supposed to think of. You cannot be thinking of garbage. Think of the words of divisions, where people come on television station on the media and speak negatively against governments, speak negatively against the country. That's all they do, day by day, week by week. They just put bad things in the air about the country. They put hatred and resentment among brethren day after day, year after year. That is part of bearing false witness. That is part of bearing false witness. And when you listen to them things, you cannot make progress. The only thing that these things bring is rage and disappointment. It does not encourage people to grow. It does not encourage people to start a business. It does not encourage people to do anything positive in life. So people, my people, in closing, let me tell you something. Think of what you do. Do positive things. Get a trade, get a job, get a career. Do a business, start a business, get into farming. Think of positive things. Think of how, whatever it is that you're doing, think of how to do it better. If it's business that you have, think of how you can get more people to buy from your business, how you can spread your business, how you can spread your ideas. But stop listening to these people in this country that bear false witness and have nothing positive to say and do, but to just program people negatively. Keep the fire burning, people. Take care of yourself.